Merry meet everyone. Grab a brew and get comfortable. Seriously, pause the video if you need to. Go get a drink, get a blanket, get a fidget toy. Welcome back to Rowans Wicca. Today, we are starting something that has been requested quite a few times, and honestly, something I've needed to talk about for a long while. We are starting a 3-part deep dive series titled The ADHD Grimoire. Now, before you scroll away thinking, I haven't got a diagnosis, or I don't think I have ADHD, stick with me. What we are talking about today is neurodivergent witchcraft. This applies if you have ADHD, autism, or even if you just have a busy, chaotic, modern brain that struggles to switch off. We are going to review the entire concept of Wicca and witchcraft through the lens of a mind that doesn't run in straight lines. A mind that runs in spirals, loops, and occasional explosions of creativity, followed by weeks of nothing. In this first part, we are tackling the mindset, the guilt, and the foundations. Because if we don't fix the foundation, the temple falls down. Let's start with the biggest enemy of the ADHD witch. It isn't a lack of time. It isn't a lack of tools. It's the guilt cycle. You start a new practice. You are full of dopamine. You buy the books. You buy the jars. You harvest the herbs. You do it every day for 3 days. You feel amazing. You are the most magical person on earth. And then, you miss a day. Maybe you got home late. Maybe you just forgot. And because you missed one day, your brain says, well, the streak is broken, I've ruined it. So you miss 2 days, then a week, then a month, and suddenly, looking at your altar doesn't make you feel magical. It makes you feel guilty. It becomes a monument to what you didn't do. We need to break that chain right now. Here is the first rule of the ADHD Grimoire. Magic is not linear. The tides go in and out. The moon waxes and wanes. Nature pauses in winter. Why do you expect yourself to be in high summer bloom all year round? If you haven't touched your cards in 6 months, you haven't failed. You were just in your winter, and now you're ready for spring. Now, let's look at the practical side, specifically the M word, meditation. Every Wicca 101 book starts with, sit in a quiet room, close your eyes, and clear your mind. For a neurodivergent mind, asking us to clear our mind is like asking a river to stop flowing. It's impossible, and trying to do it is physically uncomfortable. When we try to empty our heads, the background noise gets louder. The ticking clock, the itch on your leg, the song stuck in your head. We need to swap passive meditation for active grounding. If your brain is moving at 100 miles an hour, you cannot slam on the brakes. You have to steer into the skid. Use your senses. Don't close your eyes if it makes you dizzy. Keep them open. Stare into a candle flame. The movement of the fire gives your eyes something to latch onto, which quiets the rest of the brain. Let's try a 30-second experiment right now. Seriously, do this with me. I want you to find a small object near you. A crystal, a pen, a ring, a stone. Pick it up. Close your eyes if you want, or just look at the object. Don't try to clear your mind. Instead, I want you to focus entirely on the texture of that object. Is it cold? Is it rough? Push your thumb against it. Feel the pressure. Softly. Every time your brain tries to think about your shopping list, redirect that energy into your thumb. Feel the ridges. Feel the weight. Okay, come back to the room. That was grounding. You didn't empty your head, you focused it on a single sensory input. That is valid meditation. For us, magic needs to be tactile. We need to touch the earth, smell the incense, hear the drum. We are sensory creatures. Use that. Moving on to another massive hurdle, object permanence. In the ADHD world, if we can't see it, it doesn't exist. This is why we buy a bag of salad and find it 3 weeks later as a bag of brown sludge in the crisper drawer. The same thing happens to your magic. If you pack your magical tools away in a nice wooden box and put that box inside a cupboard to keep it sacred, you will never use them. The ADHD Grimoire demands visual cues. Your practice needs to live where you live. I have a friend who keeps her daily tarot deck next to her toothbrush. Why? Because she has to brush her teeth every morning, hopefully, so she sees the cards. She pulls one card while she's brushing. Boom. Daily ritual complete. If you struggle with protection magic, hang a charm on your car keys. If you struggle with kitchen witchery, keep your magical herbs on the counter, not in the back of the pantry. Make your environment do the heavy lifting for you. Stop relying on willpower. Willpower is a finite resource. Visual cues are free. This brings me to the concept of dopamine magic. We are often told that consistency is key. But consistency looks different for us. We have 2 modes: I cannot get off the sofa, and I am going to research the entire history of the Druids until 4 a.m. When the inspiration strikes, when that hyper-focus hits, ride the wave. If you feel a sudden urge to reorganize your entire altar at midnight, do it. That is energy. That is power. But when the wave crashes, and it will crash, do not force yourself to maintain that pace. We need to build a practice that expands and contracts. Create a minimum viable practice. When you have 0 energy, what is the smallest magical thing you can do? Maybe it's just stirring your coffee clockwise. That's it. That's the practice for the day. When you have high energy, that's when you do the big rituals. Stop trying to force a high-energy practice into a low-energy day. That is the quickest way to burnout. Finally, I want to touch on the Book of Shadows, because this is the topic for part 2. Perfectionism kills magic. If you are scared to write in your grimoire because you might make a spelling mistake or your handwriting isn't witchy enough, you are blocking your own power. The ancient witches didn't have Instagram. They had scraps of paper, oral traditions, and messy journals. A grimoire is a working tool, not a coffee table book. So, to wrap up part 1, here is your homework. I want you to identify one rule of witchcraft that stresses you out. Maybe it's sitting still. Maybe it's memorizing long incantations. I want you to give yourself permission to break that rule. If you can't sit still, dance. If you can't remember the words, speak from the heart. If you can't do it daily, do it when you feel the spark. In part 2, we are going to get into the nitty-gritty. We're talking about the Chaos Grimoire, how to organize a book of shadows when you have ADHD, binders, digital apps, and the junk journal method. You don't want to miss that. Drop a comment below. What is the hardest part of witchcraft for your brain? Let's chat about it. Until next time, be kind to your mind. Blessed be.